Understanding the document object model. The document object model is a programming interface used in web development to represent and interact with the structure of a web document. The DOM allows scripts to access, manipulate, and modify the content, structure, and style of HTML and XML documents. It acts as a bridge between the document and the programming languages used to interact with it, such as JavaScript. The structure of the DOM. At its core, the DOM represents the document as a tree structure. Each element in an HTML or XML document is considered a node in this tree. The entire document is the root node, and it branches out into child nodes representing elements, attributes, text, and more. For example, consider a simple HTML document, HTML, doctype HTML, title my webpage title head, body welcome to my webpage. This is a paragraph. In the DOM, this document would be represented as a tree with the HTML element as the root node. The head and body elements are child nodes of HTML, and so on. Nodes in the DOM. Nodes are the fundamental building blocks of the DOM. They represent different parts of the document. Element nodes. These represent the HTML tags, e.g. div, h1. They can have attributes and contain other element nodes or text nodes. Attribute nodes. These represent the attributes of elements, e.g. class equals header. While they are associated with elements, they are treated separately in the DOM. Text nodes. These represent the text content inside elements. For example, the text "Welcome to my web page" inside the h1 tag is a text node. Comment nodes. These represent the comments in the document. Although comments are not displayed on the page, they are part of the DOM. Document nodes. The topmost node representing the entire document. It is the root from which all other nodes branch out. Traversing and manipulating the DOM. One of the key features of the DOM is that it allows traversing the document tree and manipulating its structure and content. Using JavaScript, developers can access any node in the tree, move between nodes, and make changes. For example, to change the text in the h1 tag from "Welcome to my web page" to "Hello World," you could use the following JavaScript code: JavaScript document.querySelector h1.textContent equals "Hello World." Here, document.querySelector h1 is used to select the h1 element, and text content changes its text content. Real-life use case. Imagine you have a web application that displays a list of products. The product information is stored in a database, and when a user visits the page, the DOM is used to dynamically generate the HTML content. For instance, if a user adds a new product to their cart, the DOM allows you to update the cart's content on the web page without reloading it. The JavaScript code interacts with the DOM to add a new product item in the cart's HTML structure, reflecting the user's action immediately. Events in the DOM. The DOM also plays a crucial role in handling events. An event is any interaction a user has with a web page, such as clicking a button, hovering over an element, or submitting a form. When an event occurs, the browser triggers an event object that contains details about the event. The DOM can listen for these events and respond accordingly. For example, when a user clicks a button, you might want to show an alert: JavaScript document.querySelector button.addEventListener function, alert button clicked. Here, addEventListener is used to listen for the click event on the button, and the anonymous function is executed when the button is clicked. DOM manipulation libraries. While the DOM can be directly manipulated using plain JavaScript, there are libraries and frameworks like jQuery, React, and Vue.js that make DOM manipulation easier and more efficient. These libraries abstract some of the complexity and provide more intuitive methods for interacting with the DOM. For example, in jQuery, you can hide an element with a single line of code: JavaScript p.hide. This is much simpler compared to the plain JavaScript method. JavaScript document.querySelector-p style display equals none. The importance of the DOM in modern web development. The DOM is essential in modern web development because it allows web pages to be interactive and dynamic. Without the DOM, web pages would be static and unable to respond to user interactions. Whether you're creating a simple form or a complex single-page application, SPA, understanding and working with the DOM is fundamental to making your web application functional and responsive. Real-life example, interactive forms. Consider a real-life example of an interactive form on a website. Suppose you have a form where users can enter their shipping information. As they type in their address, the DOM can be used to validate their input in real time. If they enter an incorrect postal code, the DOM can highlight the error and display a message below the input field, all without needing to reload the page. This enhances the user experience by providing immediate feedback, making the form submission process smoother and more intuitive. Conclusion. The Document Object Model, DOM, is a powerful tool that underpins the dynamic and interactive nature of modern web development. By representing the structure of a web document as a tree of nodes, the DOM allows developers to interact with and manipulate the content and structure of web pages in real time. Whether handling user events, updating content, or dynamically generating HTML, the DOM is a fundamental concept that every web developer must understand to create responsive and engaging web applications.